Good afternoon, back again, myself and Alexander, whichever way that is, myself and Alexander, and we're going to do a bit of a kit bash today. We've been doing some work in our little glade, for want of a better term. That's what we're going to call it from now on, the glade. And basically we're trying to thin out the canopy a bit because it gets really dark and a bit dingy in there, and we want to make it a bit airier, don't we? We want to make it nice and bright.
Yeah.
We want to get the grass growing underneath and some wildflowers, and at the moment very little grows underneath there, apart from nettles. As soon as Alexander is always barefoot, we want to make it a little bit...
The next day I'm going to put shoes on.
He's going to put shoes on eventually, yeah, but his bottom of his feet are like leather anyway. Still ticklish. Anyway, we got to a bit of a sticking point in that I can only reach so far, and same with my chainsaw. I don't really want to be climbing these trees. They're not exactly the easiest things to climb because they're quite spindly, and like I say, the canopy is really dense. There's a lot of deadwood in there. Makes it very difficult to access. So we decided that we needed a new tool, and I splashed out minimal amount on Amazon. I think it were about £25 for a pole saw. Just a cheap bit of kit off Amazon. It actually had pretty good reviews. I will put a link below, and I thought, do you know what, that is just what I need. Anyway, so we bought this new piece of kit and we are going to test it out. Now, we've already opened it up. We have the saw blade here, which it is, let me just check. It's called a Walensee pole saw, and it goes to about 3 meters. It's extendable basically. But what I did like about it, it comes in sections. So rather than it being telescopic and it actually having quite a flimsy construction, this screws into each section, and about 1.5 foot long each section, so it goes to about 3 meters in total, which is perfect for what we need. You know, Alexander's just gone, take that off. So there's the blade, which looks worse than I think it will be when we actually get to operate it. I am not quite sure what these hooks are for. They're quite savage. But all I can see, I mean, that one I can see what the point would be for that, because we can use that to hook branches down. But this one I think will just end up causing problems and snagging on things. They're very sharp, be careful, okay? But
it didn't hurt me.
They will hurt you, they are very...
It didn't hurt me when I touched it anyway.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to give this a try on those trees that you can see behind us. And we'll see how it performs. But so far, I'm quite impressed. So the blade itself only attaches with these 2 nuts here.
Ready?
I'll show you how this fits together. So there is one of the sections, and it's got a very
thin?
Faint thread on the end.
Can I help?
You will help in a minute. At the moment you're a hindrance. So that screws in like that.
Peekaboo.
Yep, nice and tight. Second section.
Yep.
So we're out to about 1.5 meters. Third section. Right. We've got 3 sections left. So we'll do this. Oh, missed. So come down.
You're going lefty-loosey.
Yep, right. There we go. Right, do you want to screw this one in?
Yes, please.
Right, in. That's it. Screw, 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 screw. Perfect. Right, now we've got the last one.
Can I help with that one?
Push that out.
Yeah.
Right, pull that in. Wait, it's got to be in. Right. Twist, 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 twist. Right. Oh. There we are. That's the full length of the saw.
Blade over there.
Let's see if I can lift. Oh, one-handed. Oh, right, that's not bad. What's good is I can't see any flex in the pole, which I have seen the others that are telescopic, and they all start bending, or the ones that I've seen tend to bend. So we will go.
Rufus is out.
Rufus is out. Rufus. Probably come in to investigate this little monkey because they don't get on. We're going to go and try it on here, and we'll see if Alexander can use it. We know that it's actually quite a good piece of kit, but we've got a lot of material to take out of here, and we're basically going to take out some of the bigger branches that I can't reach, and then we'll pull out the dead wood. Okay.
This is the tricky part.
This is the tricky part.
This is the tricky part where you've got to be careful about some point, because it will be very nettly around here.
Yeah, show us the nettles. Nettles. Not good when you're barefoot, eh?
All here.
Yep. Okay, we've got a branch here that we started cutting earlier. Alexander's been doing the work already. We're going to finish that off and see how well it actually cuts. Right, show me how you cut. Go slow, go slow. Whoa. Keep going. Keep going. Alright, you're missing. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Alright, I'll help. You ready?
Yeah.
Go. Whee! Right,
Done.
let's use that hook now. Pull. Pull.
Yeah.
Pull. Right, we're going to take that other branch out behind.
Okay.
Okay? Lift that up. Move forwards. Move it round. I'm going to take it
Now,
just there. You ready?
you let go and I'll try it.
Okay, you try it on your own.
I'm already doing it, aren't I?
You are. You hear it cracking?
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Right, is it stuck?
Yeah.
Pinched? Right, I'll help. Ready?
Yeah.
Push.
Done.
Push.
Let
No.
go now.
No, it's still pinched. Right, you're moving to the side, that's why. Move this side. Ready?
Yeah.
Push. Right, let go. Right. Okay, so that's pinched. Right.
I know you can't see on the camera, but it's very hard to see on the camera.
We'll take that one out, shall we?
Very hard. Can I do that bit?
No.
I know it's very hard to see on the camera, but I know it's quite tricky. I can't even see.
Okay, right. Let's put that down there.
Okay.
What did you think of that?
Fine.
You think it was
Fine. Fine.
Actually, I thought it performed pretty well with you using it.
Yeah, I'm going to use it again and again.
Right, what we need to do is work out which other branches need to come down. So we don't want to take all of these off, but we could do with this bit trimming back. You can see how knotty this is, so that's still tangled up there. It won't come down. Not the easiest thing to do with a 4-year-old. Anyway, right. So that's on some of the short stuff. Now we need to test it out on something a bit taller. But you can see behind me, in fact if I go in there, right, if I turn that way, that's a better idea. You can see how dark it is in here. If I turn that way, that's where the canopy's all been reduced and you're getting a lot more light. If I turn this way, not so good. And we're wanting to thin out all this. So basically all this bit directly above us needs to come out because it's just so dark in here and I want it open. We've got some trees to take out here. This will all be lit up and we'll have a hammock in this area. But until I've got this clear, it's not really going to be that attractive. And you can see, other than Alexander, some stones and some sticks, there's not much on the floor. So that's what the saw is for. Anyway, let's try it on some of these taller branches and see how it performs.
Can I do some?
Yes. One thing I have noticed so far is it pinches very easy, and if you're not watching for that exact point, it's going to get stuck, and then if it's 3 meters up in the air, I don't know how you're going to get it out. So something to be mindful of. In terms of the structure, blade seems very good, it's very sharp. I don't like those hooks, but the pole, brilliant. Compared to what I thought it was going to be, it's not flimsy at all, it seems to work quite well. And the fact you can take it down in increments, absolutely spot on. Makes it much more flexible for what I need for here. Okay. Kids. Right, Alexander and I have had a look and we've decided which branches we think need to come out from this canopy to actually make a difference. Now I'm pretty sure some of them are going to land on this metal frame that we've got up here, but I'm not too worried. I think I'm going to take that out anyway. But effectively we need to take these out here, this one out and that one out, and that will open up that whole area there and allow some lighting on an evening. And then this one and this one, and then that one. We've just cut this out over here where it's snagged up on some of these other bits of branches, so we need to take some of them out as well, but I'm less bothered about this at this point. I think if we take this one out, that'll start and drop. If we take these out, this is really going to open up. So shall we have another go, Alexander?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Thumbs up? Okay.
Now.
I think if we took that off, we're going to have to be careful because some of this is going to drop on us, alright? Should probably have our helmets on.
Daddy,
Yes.
I'm gonna move.
Jammed again. Right, that was the hook at the bottom, got stuck. I don't like the hook at the bottom. Right, let's take that one out.
The hook needs to be at the top, not the front.
I would agree. Right.
Can I have a go?
Not on this bit. Right. So we've got one of the big branches we've cut already, and it's stuck up there. So I need to work out which of the smaller branches are holding it in place. I actually think it's one that's back that way. Right, let's have a look. Step back. See if we can get this one. How annoying. Okay, I don't know whether you can see that or whether you've seen that get stuck, but it's snagged again and it's really stuck this time. That, I think, is the biggest problem I'm having with this. It cuts brilliantly, but how do you deal with that? If anyone knows, let me know down below. That's going to be a right pain to get. Okay, we got it. In the end, a bit of brute force. So the pole actually came in useful with it not being telescopic, because I were able to use it to push underneath and basically expand the gap, and then I were able to reconnect it and pull it out. So actually the pole's worked out pretty well. I think just a design flaw of the whole system really is that it can get pinched and get stuck. But I am very grateful that it is this sectional pole as opposed to telescopic, because I think that would have been more of a problem. Now, the main reason that we're wanting to thin this out is because of how dark it is. I've already said that. But I'm hoping you can see how tangled it is up there. And the branch I've just cut that got the blade stuck actually goes from where it is all the way across that way, loops over the top of another large branch and disappears off the other side of the tree. And that has basically stopped the whole thing dropping. Same with what we've got cut above here. It's just not falling. Probably a good thing. I haven't got my helmet on, but you can see it's just hanging there. So I'm going to have to do a lot more cutting. Well, puts it through its paces. Crikey, I'm pooped. What an absolute mess. It's all tangled in the deadwood. Pole, very good. Right, I'll do a review in a minute on my final thoughts on this saw. But for now, I'm just going to go and get cracking with this. It's getting a bit risky, so I decided time for the helmet. My little helper, Alexander, is putting it through its paces as we speak, and it's working really well.
Right, back to work.
Still barefoot.
Pardon?
Still barefoot.
Yeah.
Who needs shoes? Almost halfway.
What I'm aiming is up, down, up, down.
Keep going, not far off. Look, it's starting to pull. It's pulling, it's pulling, it's pulling, it's pulling. Keep going that last bit. Go on. Keep going. Keep going. Almost. It's gonna drop, it's gonna drop, it's gonna drop. Yay! Done. High five it. Wow! Well done. Okay, right. We've done as much as we're going to do this afternoon. Alexander has worked his little socks off. He's done an absolutely cracking job, and he's been really good at using that saw, which is a testimony to him, but also to how easy this saw is to use. I'm just out here getting the watering cans ready so we can water the garden. It's been another warm day today and everything's looking really dry, so we're getting our cans all ready to go. We've got the polytunnel to do, and I'm just getting all of the chores done. You can see empty running down. Our other two water butts around the corner are already pretty dry. We might get another couple of watering cans out of them, but not a great deal. We really could do with a bit of rain. Like I say, the garden needs it. So on to the main issue. So what do we think of this saw? For the price that it was, which I think is between £20 and £30, I'll put a price in the description along with a link. Is it worth the money? Do you know what? I think it is. It has actually performed pretty well. The wood that we've been cutting over there is, what is that? That is bull ace, which is if you think of it as a sort of a cherry tree. That wood is very, very, very dense, and this thing has actually cut through it without too much difficulty. It's actually found it much harder to cut through the dead wood, just because it's really dry and difficult to cut into to start with. But this serrated edge, this blade, has actually worked really well on the green wood, and it's gone through quite large pieces of wood. So you're talking probably about 6 to 8 inches is the widest that it's cut through, and even Alexander's been able to cut through that quite quickly. So I'm actually quite pleased with it. For the price, it's performed well. The pole, this extendable pole, has worked really well. There's been quite a few cases where it's got jammed as the branches started to hinge. There's been issues with it jamming and pinching the blade. Quite annoying when it does happen, and you've got to then try and fathom how to get it out. But the fact that that pole is rigid has allowed me to unfasten the pole from the actual blade that's stuck in the wood, and then use the pole itself to poke the wood to open the gap, and the blade's dropped out. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. The fact that it's really easy to take down as well has also been a boon with what we've been doing. So it allowed me to sort of work at various heights easily without having a cumbersome pole to sort of get around. So yeah, it's worked out well. I were a little dubious about the hooks to start with, and I still think the bottom one can get in the way sometimes, but when I've come to do some of the works later on, after we'd done the first bit with Alexander, I moved into some of the central bit, so this bit over here, and what it's actually been quite useful at is getting underneath a branch and pushing it upwards and over other branches. So actually it's worked out quite well in that respect. So obviously it depends on the scenario that you're working in as to whether it's useful or not. To start with, it was not useful and it was getting jammed on everything, but in certain circumstances, yes, it's pretty good. So would I buy it again? Yes, I would. Could I use that elsewhere on our piece of land? Most likely. That has been a good investment, and more to the point, Alexander, who's 4 years old, has been able to use that very well and very easily. So obviously at full length, 3 meters, it's heavy for him at the far end, but even if you just put that on a branch, literally rest it on it, don't get the blade started or anything, put that on the branch and let him saw away. He's gone through branches no problem, and I'm not talking little branches, I'm talking thicker than my arm, 6 inch at least he's gone through of this really dense wood. So I've been very impressed with how that's performed, also how Alexander's performed. He's been brilliant today. So yeah, that's my very simple review. I hope you find it useful, and I hope that it encourages you to get one of these if you've got trees that you need to do works on. That has saved me having to get the ladders out and climb up into these trees with a chainsaw, which is something that I was very reluctant to do. I could do it, but I never like working at heights with a chainsaw, and not in that sort of scrub anyway. There's not enough real purchase, so there'll be a lot of balancing, and there's not enough room to get ropes in my opinion, for that sort of thing. So that has saved a lot of time, effort and risk. So yeah, with that I'll sign off. Hope you found it useful, and I'll see you next time.